Are you tired of wet blending yet? I hope not. Welcome to episode 8 of How to Paint Cthulhu Death May Die Season 2. This week's episode, we're going to go ahead and tackle the Bokrug. I think I said that right. Let me know down below. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, this is another beastly, weird, tentacly, just kind of out there model. Almost reminds me of a bulldog with tentacles, but he is heavy on the wet blending. So just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. But if you've been following along with my painting series, wet blending ain't no thing for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'll let the video do the rest of the talking. Alright, here we go with this nasty character here, primed with 100% coverage in gray. So we're going to start with Gravelord Gray, and we're going to get kind of the carapace of this model, the big chunky bits on his hips and the top portion of his body. The shell, if you will. Make sure you get his little jawline there, and we're going to get the top of his little head as well. Now from there, we're going to switch over to burnt moss, and we're going to do the majority of his body in the burnt moss. Now I'm showing the pastel salmon here because when it gets to his tentacles, we are going to do some wet blending with that pastel salmon, so just make sure that you have it at the ready. But this is the main portion of his body. It's kind of lizard-like, reptilian. So we're going with the burnt moss. Now while that's wet, those spiky bits, we're going to take some purple alchemy and we're going to run some of that purple alchemy over those spiky bits. Like so. Nothing fancy here, just dabbing it with the purple alchemy. While it's wet, run your brush across it. Just creates a little bit more contrast on the model. Now we return with the burnt moss. The colors look very, very similar, I know. But it'll contrast once it dries, you'll see. Inside of that mouth there, get all those little tentacles up there, those scaly bits, and while the tentacles are wet, go ahead and hit them with that pastel salmon, and then just keep working your way through the body. So you go till about there, about 3/4 of the way with that burnt moss, and then you're going to come in heavy with that pastel salmon for that last quarter, and you're just going to drag that pastel salmon into that burnt moss along that tentacle. You can go down as far as you want, honestly. It's your party. You just want that blend to be smooth. You want a nice gradual smooth transition of colors. So remember, we're doing this all while it's wet. This is wet blending. If you've made it this far in the series, you know what you're doing. I shouldn't need to explain it, but just in case this is your very first video of mine that you're watching, we do a lot of wet blending here. Same thing down here, you're going to go 3/4 with the burnt moss, and then you're going to come in with that pastel salmon. And you're going to just blend the two colors together. All the little tentacles back here as well. Same situation, 3/4 burnt moss. Come in with the pastel salmon. It's a very blended model. Same thing here. Coming in with it. If you've learned nothing else from me in all these videos, you're definitely going to know how to wet blind by the end of it. It's one of my favorite techniques. Touching up those tentacles coming out of his mouth again with more pastel salmon now that they've had some time to dry. And now we're going to come in here with the burnt moss, and while that's still wet, that purple alchemy from earlier, we're going to come in and we're going to go over that same portion that we just hit with the burnt moss on the underside here with that purple alchemy. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to come in with the burnt moss, and then while that's still wet, we're going to hit it with the purple alchemy, and then we're going to drag full purple alchemy down into these little droopy, dangly, bulbous bit things here. And then once we finish with that, we're going to switch over to Fire Giant Orange. And the rest of the underside we're going to do in that Fire Giant Orange. So you're going to come in strong with the Fire Giant Orange. And you're going to cover the remainder of the underside with it. Careful not to hit those legs. Now we're going to finish up those legs with the burnt moss. We painted the rest of his body in. You could do this earlier. You could have done this before doing the underside. That would have been fine too. I just saved the legs last for whatever reason. And now we're going to come in with some aged hide. And we're going to get these little antennae looking things that are coming out of his head. We're going to cover those in the aged hide. We're going to take care of his eyes with some ice yellow. You're going to get just the faintest little dab on a very small tip brush. And you're just going to dab the bulbs of the eyes with that ice yellow. Dab, 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 dab. Real careful. Let the paint do the work. And then we're going to switch to Daemonic Yellow. And we're going to get really thin with it. Thin it down nice. And you're going to hit the rest of the eye socket with that Daemonic Yellow. Kind of giving it a little bit of a glow effect. Not really doing any OSL here. We're just filling some paint in there. You're gonna repeat that process with the other side. And once you're satisfied with that, we're gonna get a little bit of Ancient Stone acrylic, and we're gonna pick out these little claws along the sides of his body right here on both sides, and then we're gonna pick out his toenails as well. Just short little strokes. You're not going to cover the whole toenail in paint. Just the top portions you're going to hit with that Ancient Stone. Just the top portions. Do little streaks across the top. Pick out the teeth along the top here. We're going to leave the bottom the way it is. We're just picking out these top teeth. Once you're done, he's going to end up looking something like this. All that's left now is to black out the base, and your completed model is going to look like this. Voila! Gnarly. Gnarly, gnarly. And that's going to wrap up this week's episode. I told you, the wet blend makes all the difference in the world. Look at how nasty those tentacles look. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I genuinely appreciate it. Shout out to my patrons who help keep this channel going, who help keep me afloat. I appreciate you all. I appreciate every single one of you that does click on my videos and does watch them every single week. It means the world to me. If you could drop a comment and a like, it would mean even more, because it will help me fight this algorithm, which is doing really, really weird things lately and really burying us small channels that are trying to gain a wider audience and community. So again, thank you so much. Link down to my Patreon down below. If you haven't looked at it already, I know I've mentioned it every video, but you might not have watched my other videos. So if you join the Patreon, you'll have access to the Discord where we talk board games and miniature painting, as well as you will have immediate access to every single painting video in this series. It's already uploaded onto the Patreon, so you don't have to wait for these videos every single week if you're painting along and that's something that you're into. Anyways, I'm not going to prattle on anymore about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.